Hey guys, Kebs here with a new video. So this one here isn't really a guide or anything, it's just a little overview about the channel, what to expect from it, who am I, where do I get my info from, etc. I wanted the few of you guys who have already subscribed to know a little more about where I'll be going with all of this, my motivations, where does my weird accent actually comes from, that sort of things. I figured if people knew a bit more about the channel and its goal, they'll be more inclined to be a part of it. So why not just make a little video about it? Huh? And here we are. I hope it's not gonna be too boring. I'll try to keep it as short as possible. I promise. Okay, so the first thing to do will be to actually present myself. As you already know, I'm Keb, short for Kebs. My present guild is In Bloom, a semi-hardcore guild, friend guild actually, on the Izon server. Nothing too sick, but still a pretty decent progression guild. We finished World 1000 in Dragon Soul, so nothing too exceptional, but still decent. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I've never been very attracted to sick hardcore guilds anyways, not really my type. As I like playing at a respectful level, yeah, but without the pressure you can find in a world top 100 guild, for example. But that doesn't mean I play my main character in any less optimal way. Absolutely not. I really like know I can't possibly get any better result from my warrior, and so you'll find me theory crafting, testing stuff and optimizing about everything, just like any other hardcore player out there. I guess it's the same for most of you guys anyway, so you probably know what I'm talking about. Before that, I was a raid leader for a couple of years, also in a semi-hardcore guild, and so guiding and analyzing stuff have been a pretty important part of my game experience as well. I simply like doing it, analyzing things, then presenting them to people in the form of a guide or whatever. And yeah, I guess that's exactly what pushed me into launching this channel, to get to do it in a bit more serious way. As I've always wanted to create a blog or a channel or something, but didn't really have the motivation and the time, I should say, to actually go ahead and do it. But recently, with Diablo 3 in a weird frozen state, and MOP still far in the mist, I guess I got more time than I could actually spend. So I said, what the hell, dude? I mean, let's just do this. I got nothing to lose, right? And so here we are, with this new channel, The Spot. And why The Spot, you might ask? Well, there is nothing that special about it. I wanted to call it the warrior spot at first. You know, the place where warriors could come and find stuff about themselves, guides, feedbacks, analysis, etc. But then I figured, well, I'm not only gonna be talking about warriors in the end, and I'm not even gonna be talking about every type of warrior to begin with. I'm not gonna talk about a PvP warrior. I might do a guide or two about arms, but really not that sure about Fury, for example. I might talk about the game in general, and very probably about different classes too. So yeah, calling it the warrior spot wasn't really appropriate after all. So I just scrapped the warrior part and kept the spot, I guess. Simple, short, and all sexy. It simply means the place you can come for information, whether it's about the Prot warrior or something else. But I guess right now it's more focused on the Prot warrior than anything else, for sure. But it's gonna change. It's gonna change once MLP goes live. I'll get to talk more about the different bosses and raids, upcoming patches, classes, the priest especially, feral druids, blood DKs. I'll get more into soloable content for the prot warrior. There isn't that much you can actually solo as a prot warrior when compared to a blood DK, for example. But with new spells such as shield barrier and second wind, a lot of things that simply wasn't even thinkable as a prot warrior are now sure gonna be doable. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying that as well. Then what else will we be talking about? I guess time will tell. But I'm really open to a lot of things, and I even encourage you guys to suggest things to me. You know, if there is something you would like to see covered, you just go ahead and hit me with it. I'll sure look into it. Now, one of you guys also asked me the other day, where do I actually get my info from? If my sources were, you know, reliable enough as to make a guide with them, with what I learned there. Well, it's quite simple, really. Most of what I talk about and will be talking about in the next videos are directly the results of discussions and testings and analysis I personally do, or at least repeat, to see if what I've learned actually works. There are a lot of websites out there in which you can just get in and start discussing about a lot of things, suggest ideas, learn stuff, you know, and just get into the game and try them out, analyze them to have the more in-depth view, and if they are interesting enough, I'll just be making a video with them, you know. It's as simple as that. Just be making a video with them and sharing them with as much people as possible. On a more personal and technical level, I really prefer to do things based on how mechanics actually work, rather than only based on pure mathematics and statistics. I like numbers a lot. I like numbers really much, but I also prefer to always have a practical meaning of those numbers, and will even mostly focus more on the practical aspect of things. I guess we could say I'm more of a physician rather than a mathematician. You know, the mathematician is the guy who comes up with theories and ideas, and the physician is the guy who goes out there and try them out in the open field, in different experiments he directly comes up with. So that's the type of guy I am, and so, for example, you'll see a lot of things like in my last video, where I say that my spikes should be avoided as much as possible. The mathematician will say, well, okay, damage spikes are a bad thing for sure, but according to this spreadsheet, even though you took more damage spikes, overall you had a better damage reduction thanks to this certain ability. And he'd be right. He'd be right. But I would then say, on the other hand, my healer had the toughest time to keep me alive, since my life was yo-yoing so much. 1 second I'm at 100% HP, and the next I suddenly drop at 10% HP, forcing him to either spam heal me and use more mana, or either pay extremely more attention to me and forget about the rest of the raid, which are both worse at the end of the day, if you ask me. So yeah, you'll see a lot of that, but as always, I'm very open to discussions to see how the other guy might be right and how I might be wrong, and adjust or correct things if I'm proven wrong. So really, feel free to comment on stuff and point out things. I'll always be open to discuss them. Well guys, I'm gonna stop right here. This is getting a bit longer than I even wanted. I sure don't want it to be too boring, but in any case, you now know a lot more about this channel, where I'll be going with it, and what will be coming up. I hope it wasn't too annoying hearing me babbling about all of these things. but I guess it was important at the same time. So well, the next video will be up in 2 or 3 days, and should be much more entertaining. As always, thanks a lot for sticking around, and see you in the next one.